What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of A Road to Glory. First of all, I want to say thank you guys so much for the support on yesterday's episode. I set a like target for like the first time ever of 3,000 and as of recording this is on like 6,800 likes, so that's amazing. So with that in mind, let's try and hit 3k likes again. We'll try and make that like a kind of, I guess, a minimum, which is awesome. Now, you see me at the start here, what I was doing is I was going through the Liga NOS and the MLS teams, looking at squad building, what I could do if I could complete any of them, if I'm near completing any of them, if I could pick up any bargain players throughout them. And I did pick up a few pretty good players for certain teams for cheap. And then there were some players that I saw that were going for super cheap, but I was like, hey, I should probably sell this player. So we picked up Guzans for like 3,000 coins and there was only 2 more on the market. So we listed him up and you can see there he actually sold for the 6,000 coins, I believe. Yeah, 6,000 coins he sold for. And the reason why that is beneficial, especially while looking at these trades, is because it could be very hit and miss. And you're actually going to see some bad purchases from me in this episode as well. Basically, depending on the time of day and how many people in that instance are looking for that specific position for that specific team, you can make, as I've proven there with Guzans, thousands of coins, and as you'll see here with a few other players that I pick up, no coins or lack of coins. Like I picked up this guy, as you can see that he's there for 1,000 coins by now. The next one was at 2,000, then 2 at 10,000. There was only that many on the market. For that guy that you just saw, not this guy here, this guy here as well, you can see that 10k, 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 4.5k. I bought him, I believe, for 2k. So sorry, for 1k. So I list him up for 2k. If anyone wants him right there and then, they'll buy him. And you can see this guy, I picked him up for 2,000 coins. Somebody bought that 1k one, and there's only 2 more on the market for 10k each. So I listed mine up for 4k. And at the time, it was a good purchase because if somebody needs those 2 players that I just bought, they're gonna have to buy mine because they're the cheapest on the market. And I'll make profit. Unfortunately for me on this occasion, and even at the time of recording these videos, I still haven't sold them, and there are even players on the market now for cheaper than what I initially bought them for, let alone what I'm trying to sell them for. So what I'm just going to do is hang on to them, keep relisting them for a price that will make me profit, and hope that eventually they will be the only ones on the market at that cheap. Because like I say, like at the time of buying them, they were cheapest on the market. It just depends whether or not people at the time want your specific players. And you can see here I'm showing this guy's going for like 2,000 coins, 4.5k. There was one there for 1,000 somewhat. So what I'm going to do is list him for 3,000 and hope that the cheaper ones of mine get bought, so that it makes again mine the cheapest, and then he eventually gets bought. And if that doesn't happen, I'll keep relisting and relisting, because eventually they will have that added value. And if they don't, I can use them in the teams to get the rewards back. Now I was looking at the teams and looking at the rewards, and I'm close on finishing quite a few, but I'm like, there's one team that I'm nearly finished on, and the 2 positions that I need is like 6k for the left back and like 4k for the right back, and all I get back for it is 500 coins and a premium silver player pack. Now, although those silver player packs could contain very expensive players, whether it be Calcio B players, Liga NOS players, MLS players, they could also contain nothing. Like, you know, essentially like 12 players at 200 coins, they could contain 2,500 coins worth of players. So to complete just one thing, I don't know if I'm necessarily willing to spend like 10k on players to complete one item, where if I wait and bide my time, I'll either find them on the market for a lot cheaper, or through using the bronze pack upgrade, I'll actually get them in those 2 silver player packs. So I'm not really looking to buy heavy investments for these MLS and Liga NOS teams, but I will check them probably once or twice a week, not a day, but maybe like once every 2 or 3 days. I'll check the prices, check where I'm at with my teams, and if I can complete one for relatively cheap, I will do. However, you can see here the prize for winning the weekend league tournament, the daily knockout tournament, is premium gold pack of 500 coins. You're only allowed 2 entries into this one, so I thought let me go and enter into those. And I want to talk about these a little bit as well in the episode. But we've got bumper gameplay episode today. Our first opponent here, really nice Portuguese team. He's got Danny up front, which was interesting because I think he might be an amazing striker. Quaresma and Rafa as well up there. Really nice team overall. But in terms of completing the squad builder challenges, where was I going with it? So I was going to look to complete them over time, and use upgrades. I can't remember where I was going to go with it. I had a point to make about it. I had a point to make about squad builder challenges that I'm now no longer able to make. But yeah, if we can complete 1 or 2 of the teams here or there. Okay, so the point was, initial point was, I don't necessarily know if I want to invest too much in them, especially right now, because with the weekend league coming up on Friday, it's currently Wednesday, you'll be watching this Wednesday night, so we've got Thursday and Friday of 3 days, then Saturday and Sunday it's the weekend league, and I've got 2 accounts that I want to do good on the weekend league on. So I don't know which account I'm going to prioritise my time for. Probably my main account, but maybe this account. I might try and bang out all 40 games on this, and I might do it by live streaming them on YouTube, on this YouTube account. If I live stream, you know, like 10 or 15 games, you guys can watch how well I'm doing. So the reason why I don't necessarily want to go and start investing money in the MLS and Liga NOS players is because I want to make sure that I go into the weekend league with a decent chance of winning some games. You know, the last thing I want to do is walk in with the 2 teams that I've got now, which aren't bad by any stretch of the imagination, but could definitely use an upgrade here or there. The last thing I want to do is go in with these teams and start getting battered left, right and centre from superstar teams or full BPL sweat teams and stuff, and be left short and winning like poor prizes because I invested too heavily in MLS players, you know. On top of that, the weekend league will generate so many coins and so many packs for so many people that we could see a massive reduction in value for a lot of the players, because if a lot of people are getting a whole bunch of packs and packing these silver cards and just listing them to try and get the best value for them that they can, could see the market shift downwards briefly, which would be very nice indeed. So, you know, Monday morning might be a good opportunity to start picking up some players, and if not, I'll still look to buy them progressively. But in general, I don't want to go in with a poor team. Now, one thing that's interesting to me as well, I was looking at the squad fitness stuff, and you guys know we've got like around 200,000 coins worth of fitness cards at a reasonable sellable price, which we haven't hit yet. Obviously, the bronze individual fitness cards don't even sell right now, and the bronze squad fitness cards sell for like 250 to 300 coins, right? So with that in mind, this weekend league's coming up, and people aren't going to want to rotate teams, and they're not going to have time to play offline to generate fitness. So the price of consumables, specifically fitness and healing cards, is going to potentially, I don't want to say definitely, potentially rise, and we're going to start seeing these bronze fitness cards hopefully go up to like 600-700 coins per piece, at which point I'll start getting rid of them. However, I'm also going to be in the same boat where not only have I got to play 40 games on my main account, I've got to play 40 games on my Road to Glory account, and I've got to do it without using fitness cards. Well, on my main account I can use fitness cards, I have untold of them, but on the Road to Glory account I don't want to use fitness cards. So I'm going to have 2 decent teams, and with that I want to invest the coins that I've got on some really good players to put in the team that will be really nicely received for us. You know, like right now we've got good BPL team. I'm really happy with the BPL team actually. I think we're going to need a new goalkeeper once Butland goes. I wouldn't mind investing quite heavily in something like a Mandanda or something like that. And I'm definitely going to have to get rid of Johnny Evans. As good as he's been, and I've got no qualms with him at all, he's been a fantastic defender, I would much rather someone like Winston Reid instead of Johnny Evans, just for that boost of pace and stuff. And then secondly, I want to invest very, very carefully in chemistry styles and what's going to benefit my players the most. So I'll definitely be doing that over the next couple of days before the weekend league starts. But I don't have that many coins available. I've got like about 30,000, 35,000 coins or so. I've got about 6,000 to 8,000 coins in players and sellables that are sellable right now, which will put me into the 40 to 50k mark. But in general, I don't really have that much available to me. Now, two more things. First and foremost, I bought Giuliano for 31,000 coins. I sold Giuliano for 48,000 coins, and I thought that was pretty decent profit. It turns out he did get an inform, and his price went up to like 130,000 coins. If I would have just held on to him, I know we got Sterling because we sold him. We were only able to afford Sterling because we sold him. If I held on to him, I would have made an absolute killing. And so with that in mind, after the weekend league, when I get my prize and my reward, whatever it may be, I'm probably going to look to invest in a couple of the low-rated one-to-watch cards that I think will do well throughout the year, bearing in mind that the one-to-watch cards do not get Team of the Season or Team of the Year upgrades. It is strictly informs, and I don't even know if that also replicates to Man of the Matches or International Man of the Matches or any other special cards that EA have got. If it is only strictly informs, it might be a real just a real guesswork as to who's going to do good and who's not, you know. So there's that. Now, last but not least, before we talk about a little bit more about the gameplay, as we go into the semi-final of the knockout tournament, and concede a really nice goal, actually, like good passing move. Musa gets in, cuts it to the far post, great goal. Unfortunately for me in this game, it was a really close game, back and forth. As he went 1-0 up, he actually started playing part of the bus, and it was very frustrating for me to have to deal with. He eventually got in behind again, took the shot, and the rebound goal is what I concede. And I concede so many rebound goals in FIFA. But hey, you know, it's FIFA. You're not going to win. You're not going to win every game. And that's something I need to really learn to accept heavily. Is that even if you're the better player, even if you're the best player, you're still not going to win every game in FIFA. So I've got to just learn to kind of move on swiftly from losses, stop getting frustrated, and stop getting like caught up on them. We ended up losing that game 2-1. You'll see my opponent had considerably more possession. You'll see my Navas made 2 saves. His Butland made 5 big saves for him, and once again my inability to finish ends up costing me. He had way more possession, simply because when he went 1-0 and eventually 2-0 up, he was just like kind of possession whoring, which I don't blame him for, because you know he wants to qualify for the weekend league and win that prize as well. So no blame intended, no blame pushed there. But those are just the facts. The facts of the matter are is that he did pass it around his defence after he went 1-0 and 2-0 up. Now, I was talking about these tournaments in a video either yesterday or a couple of videos ago, and one of the comments, which was a bit surprising to me, was that I shouldn't be allowed to play in these tournaments because I'm removing the opportunity for people to win and enter FUT Champions because I'm playing them. Now, it's like, first and foremost, I do understand what you're saying, and when we did the Footies tournaments in FIFA 16 for Aubameyang, for Royce, and for Konoplyanka, after I'd won all 3, and it actually took me 9 attempts to do so, I opted not to take my 10th attempt because I didn't want to take the opportunity away from someone to win one of those cards, because I think those cards are amazing. With these weekend leagues, you have 5 days worth of tournaments to qualify. There are plenty of opportunities, and you have multiple attempts on each day. Today was only 2, but yesterday there was 8 attempts to win it. You had 8 opportunities. And secondly, is the weekend league is an every weekend kind of thing. Not a thing where, okay, if you don't make it this one, you've got to wait 3 months for another opportunity. So although I do understand that I will be taking away the opportunity for several people, 2 things spring to mind. Number one, that ultimately isn't my concern. If you're not good enough to beat me, that's not my problem. If you can't qualify for the weekend league, that's not my problem. Although I want you guys to qualify for the weekend league because it looks to be fun, right? But I shouldn't be made to feel bad for playing again. And like, secondly, the prize for winning these tournaments are really helpful to Road to Glory accounts. I wouldn't say to you guys, if you spent no money on FIFA points, don't go and play these tournaments and win those prizes because it's unfair on other people. I'd say go and play them. Play them as often as you can, because for winning this, you get a 7.5k tradable pack and 500 coins. So if you win it twice, which you know, you get 2 attempts, you'll get 15k in packs and 1,000 coins. Why would you not want to, you know, why would you not want the opportunity to do that? It doesn't make sense. So for me personally, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep entering it as often as possible, for the simple fact that I want the rewards offered to me for it. So whilst, yeah, I might be taking away somebody else's opportunity, there's also a case to be made that this guy that I just played and knocked out here, he might have already qualified for the weekend league. I don't know. So, you know, by me not playing, I'm just one person. It's not going to stop other people that have already qualified also trying to get the prize for a second time. And with that in mind, I'm going to carry on playing it. And I think it's very unfair, because the comment had like considerable amount of likes. It had like 45 or 50 thumbs up, which for this channel is a lot for a comment. It means the comment's made an impact. I think it's very unfair and very harsh of you guys to tell me that I either have to play seasons or not at all. You know, after I've qualified for the weekend tournament, you're basically saying you play seasons, otherwise you're being unfair to everyone else. And I think that's like massively unfair to me and what I'm trying to offer to you guys through this series. So with that in mind, I will continue to play these daily knockout tournaments even when I've qualified for the weekend league, because the rewards offered for me are just too good to turn down. So, and I would expect the same of you guys. If you guys have won it and you think, oh, I don't want to play that again because I don't want to take it off someone, no, but like, go play it again. Who knows? What if that 7.5k pack that you could have won today that you chose not to play for, what if in that pack you had a Pele or a Legend or a one to watch card? You're going to end up screwing yourself over for the benefit of somebody else who's going to pay no mind to smashing you over if they have the opportunity, you know? Like, no, you're not going to get to FUT Champions and someone's going to be like, wow, I'm only here because of guys like you letting me win, so let me let you in. Of course they're not going to do that. They're going to be like, hey, I got here because I won the tournament, let me smash you. That's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. So, yeah, I implore you guys to play as often as much as you can to get the best rewards, because like, you've got to look out for you. Nobody's out there looking out for you. Nobody's saying, hey, let me give this guy some coins or get this guy a pack today. It's a very selfish game mode, is Ultimate Team. It's very me. It's very much what you can do for you because nobody else is going to. So definitely make the most out of it for yourselves. And last kind of note on this whole kind of topic is that it seems like the daily tournaments are not seeded. What I mean by seeded is if you're in the quarterfinals, you're playing somebody else in the quarterfinals. If you're in the semi-finals, you're playing somebody else in the semi-finals. If you're in a final, you're playing somebody else in the final. When it's not seeded, you could be in the final playing against somebody in the first round. So I believe it's not seeded. And I'm going to do a little bit more research and ask a little bit more people to find out specifically. But if you guys are in this tournament, or if you're just playing FIFA anyway, like whatever round you're in, whether you're in tournaments or in drafts, do me a favour after every game, whether you win or lose, whatever round you're in, just message your opponent for me, ask them what round they were in, and then if you could tweet me letting me know what round you were in and what round they said they were in. I want to try and figure out if it's seeded or not, because some people are saying to me that it's like they've messaged people and they've been in the final when they've been in the final. Maybe that's just coincidence, but today we got to the final in this tournament and I messaged my opponent afterwards and asked him what round he was in, and he told me he was in round 1 and I was in the final. So, and I'll explain why I messaged him specifically and where this came from in a second. But first of all, we've got the semi-final, which of course you guys now know that I won. We come up against quite a nice team, 89 chemistry, which, again, for a semi-final in a daily knockout tournament that has no boundaries for what team you can build, it's just an open market. It's very interesting to see low chem teams at this stage in FIFA. You know, we're already a week into the full game now. We've had early access. People have ample opportunities to build a 100 chem team. That I kind of like, it triggered me here. It triggered me thinking, okay, this guy's in the semi-final with this team. It doesn't make sense. And you can see by the the way the game went. Raheem Sterling, by the way, is fantastic. He's so good. I'm so glad we went and got him, because whatever we paid for him, whatever the net outcome of lost coins was, probably somewhere around 30 to 50,000 coins, it was entirely worth it, because he is absolutely amazing. If he was on the market for 50,000 coins, I would buy him like that. He's unbelievable. He scores goal after goal after goal, and he's only on 7 chemistry up front as well. But yeah, I got a little bit triggered from, not triggered in the negative sense, but it triggered the thought process in my mind when I came up against this guy, because I saw him with low chemistry, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And I went 3-0 up and generally dominated the game, and he pulled it back to 3-1 in the 90th minute, and even scored a second goal in the 90th minute as well to make it 3-2. Unfortunately for him, unfortunately for me, it was the end of the game. Like, that literally was the last kick of the game. I kicked off and the ref blew the full-time whistle. So Dele Alli there with 2 goals and an assist. Raheem Sterling with 2 goals and an assist. Sorry, Dele Alli with 2 assists and a goal. Raheem Sterling with 2 goals and an assist. And I'm really tempted to buy Dele Alli as a player after his loan runs out, because he's actually amazing. Like, he does so much good work for me. We end up getting through to the final. Butland now is finished. I was going to maybe put a fitness card on my BPL team and play with that in the final, because it's a really, really good team. I think it's a little bit better than my La Liga team. But this is the guy we came up against in the final. Now, you probably can't see because my face cam's in the way, but he's got 76 chemistry, and it's a 79 rated squad. He's got a really weird setup of his team with, like, left backs or right back. He's got a centre mid off chem at left back. It's just a really weird setup. And not only that, we're early on in the game, but look at his defenders. He's got no stamina. Look at the bottom right of the screen right now. You might have missed it. Go back, look at that again. There you go. Safic or Svahic, however his name said. Just no stamina on, like, at least 4 or 5 of his players had like 30 to 40 fitness going into the game. And I just thought to myself, there is absolutely no way that this guy has lucked his way into the final with low fitness and a really weird chem team. There's just no way. It's not going to happen. He's not going to luck his way through 3 games to get here. Which is why I felt like messaging him and asking him what round he was in. And he told me he was just in the first round, and I'll show the message at the end as well, so you guys know I'm not lying. Not that I would lie about anything like that anyway, but we ended up going 3-0 up after 23 minutes, and I did think to myself, maybe he's just a boss at FIFA. Maybe he's the kind of guy that has played head to head for years and years and years, and he's amazing, and he doesn't really understand how Ultimate Team works, and so based off of that, he didn't get that you had to do fitness, and he didn't get that chemistry was important. But based on his gameplay, you can see here, I'm just absolutely dicking him. And I was having fun with it, you know, I was scoring nice goals. I was trying to like play really fancy football. I was actually trying to feed the ball to ENQUIRIES for about 30 in-game minutes to see if we could get him a 4th goal. Couldn't end up doing it. We go 5-0 up. We end up going 6-0 up. Look at this, ENQUIRIES just burning away from his defender. ENQUIRIES bodies him off. Bit of strength there. Pass it into Asensio. Asensio scores. I had Asensio in a cam as well because my CDM and Zonzi is injured, so I put Rafinha down at CDM. He's not a bad choice there, and I put Asensio back in at cam. I haven't sold him yet. And you can see they're absolutely battered the guy. 6-0. He did generate a little bit of possession and a few shots, I think, if we look at the match stats. Yeah, he had 8 shots in the end, but they were all like wild shots. They weren't really from good areas. You see there, like one of them is from kickoff, a few of them from well outside the box. Like, you know, he just generally didn't really have much going about him. But the good news is we got ourselves a victory. We got ourselves a free pack. We got ourselves 500 coins. We sold a few more items. I don't have much on the trade pile right now because I'm scared to invest in bronze packs right now because of the weekend league. I'm really going to have to sit down and have a think about how I want to use my coins that I've got right here because, like I said, we're at like, what is it? I can't read it because the screen is like a bit blurry and the editing software always is. I think it's 36,000, and we pack a couple of nice players in this pack. The pack glitched out as well where it doesn't show who walked out or who came out or what we got in the pack, so I had to just skip it. And you'll see here we got Perrin, which I sold for like 1,300 coins. We got Monreal, which is a big pull because we've got him in the team, and what we paid for him is actually worth considerably more now, which is great. We're going to sell that rare gold for like 700 coins, sell Perrin for 3k, sorry, 1.3k, and we'll sell Monreal for like 3 to 3.5k. So all in all, we made about like 5,000-6,000 coins off the pack, which is just magnificent. Like for a tournament prize where we won it quite easily, getting that much extra cash is just very nice indeed. So you can see there's a 3.5k bid on Monreal, and then there's 2 3.3k bins right next to it. I don't get that. There's not even a chemistry star on him. Like I thought to myself, maybe it's because there was a chem star, but there wasn't even a chemistry star on it. But you'll see here after I list up Monreal, he eventually will sell. Here's a message at the end. I just asked him, hey dude, what round were you in? He said I was in round 1. I said, cool, I was in the final, GG. He never messaged back after that, but it was just interesting to me, guys, how I was in the final with the team I had, and I came up against a guy who's got no stamina, no chemistry, and no real good team from Division 1. It was pretty weird. So, yeah, it seems like those tournaments aren't seeded. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the end of the video. If you have enjoyed it today, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.